look around and you were crossing the street. Took a breath and I walked up to you. Asked the darling, when can we meet? 'Cause now it's not too late. I won't just sit away. I know by myself, I'm not just gonna stay away. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone by myself, I'm not just gonna stay away. Well, now it's not too late. I won't just sit away alone all by myself. I'm not just gonna stay here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself. I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Really Cool News. Despite what I may have said on our Discord this afternoon, we're at our normal time tonight, and I feel like death. So, I'm Jim Finch, and I'll be your host as we feature stories tonight from Jose Chili DeCastro, Aiden Turtleboy Kearney, Jason Dollahide, our GoFundMe tracking, and a special flashback to Regan Benson. My voice is currently shot due to either seasonal allergies or a spring cold, and I'll be taking it easy nice tonight to conserve my voice for tomorrow's newscast. All I know is I'm itchy, I'm dazed, I want a nap. Not the usual Friday night unless Pants hits me with chloroform. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow night at the same time, followed by our normal Saturday Night Live panel, or Saturday Night panel, not Saturday Night Live. Don't copyright strike me. At 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. on the West Coast. Tonight, I promise not to mute myself, or I promise I'll try not to mute myself during my closing remarks, but I can't guarantee anything. With that, on to the news. DeCastro attacks Zimmerman again in Thursday rant. Viewers of Jose Chili DeCastro's Thursday rant got a mix of old rants and new claims as he again called Justice of the Peace and Zimmerman a police-loving corrupt judge who put him in jail for no apparent reason. DeCastro's venting session was accompanied by a live premiere attended by under 100 people. When DeCastro made a rallying cry of OTVO for his audience to respond to, less than 4 OTVOs came in response from an assembly of people lacking many of his regulars. The YouTuber touched on his recent transfer to the medium minimum section of the Clark County Detention Center and complained that jailers responded that it was a correct assignment for him after multiple notes passed to guards begging for a return to the minimum area. Describing the horrors of the medium minimum security barracks, DeCastro claimed that he was in a constant 16 to 18 hour lockdown where he couldn't leave his bed. Armed only with the books he has amassed while in jail and a single bit of padding, DeCastro claimed he has been in constant confinement in the new area, living in fear for his life at all times, which were exactly the same claims he made while he was in the minimum section of the facility. DeCastro updated the status of his United States History Constitutional Law Scholar board game, claiming it was nothing like any game on the market. He also laid out plans for his DeCastro's Box product, which would now use artificial intelligence to help inmates educate themselves while incarcerated. The YouTuber turned inmate again looked forward to his July appeals date and promised that he would take action against Justice of the Peace Ann Zimmerman and the corrupt Nevada court system once he was free from imprisonment. DeCastro's appeal for his recent conviction is set to be heard on July 10th. The YouTuber indicated that if the appeal is denied, he will then take his appeal to the Nevada State Supreme Court. This is an ongoing story. Dollahide defendants demand dismissal. Enough seems to be enough as the remaining defendants in Jason Dollahide's ongoing quest for $250 million have asked for a complete dismissal of the case. Earlier in the month, Dollahide's lawyer agreed to drop all defendants from the case except for Dennis Dickens and a unit from the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. It was in response to a direct order from the judge to show cause why Dollahide's claims should not be dismissed without prejudice for failure to prosecute. The filed response from Dollahide's team ignored the order completely, instead agreeing to release all defendants except Dickens and the Oklahoma Highway Patrol from the lawsuit. Dollahide's case was filed in August of 2022, but was technically dismissed in June of 2023 with an order by the judge for Dollahide to file leave to amend his complaint by July 24, 2023. Dollahide complied. The defendants replied to Dollahide's motion, and the case sat from August of last year until March of this year, when the judge granted the leave to file an amended complaint, as long as the complaint contained direct factual allegations about all of the named defendants, or simply omitted them. The April deadline came and went for Dollahide to file his amended complaint. Another order was issued, and Dollahide ignored that deadline as well. When he was granted one last chance to abide by the court's order, his attorney filed the above-mentioned reply, ignoring the order and essentially dismissing the rest of the defendants from the case. After all the delays, the defense are asking the court to drop the lawsuit, as Dollahide has failed to act on multiple orders from the court, and the case has essentially sat in limbo since August of 2022. Complicating things further is the fact that Dollahide has been in the Cleveland County, Oklahoma detention center since July of last year after being picked up on a combination of revoked warrants and new charges. Dollahide was recently convicted to both jail time and state prison for a number of these charges and faces trial for his remaining charges later this year with the possibility of even more jail time. It is also unclear whether Dollahide has the financial means to fund his attorney's attempts to write a brand new amended complaint. His primary financial backer, Jose Chili DeCastro, is also in jail and unable to contact Dollahide or raise money for his lawsuit. With the 2-year anniversary of his filing fast approaching, and no sign that Dollahide or his attorney can follow basic instructions from the court to file the ordered amended complaint, it seems likely that the case will finally conclude in the near future. Turtle Boy faces another continuance. Aidan Turtleboy Kearney's Thursday pretrial court appearance over charges that he violated an abuse protection order filed by ex-girlfriend Lindsay Gaetini apparently resulted in a continuance with a new pretrial hearing scheduled for July 11, 2024. Kearney had a press conference in front of 5 gathered fans after speaking with fanatic Tom CPU on the steps of the courthouse. In his statement, Kearney claimed that Gaetini was now being investigated for making a false police report. This was supposedly based on the fact that police did not pursue charges against Kearney made by Gaetini over an alleged domestic violence incident in December. The Journalism Jesus also claimed that Gaetini was facing felony witness intimidation charges as her actions intimidated him. He also said that if he was facing felony witness intimidation charges and faced a lifetime in jail, others should face the same. It is unclear what Kearney was basing his information on, as the court record for the event reflects the following. Event resulted, pretrial hearing scheduled on May 30th, 2024, 9 a.m., has been held. No rulings have been made at the hearing, no indications of new charges were made, nothing more than a notation that the hearing was held and that the next hearing would be on July 11th. Based on that information, it would be easy to discount Kearney's claims as just that. However, he was able to get felony witness intimidation charges filed against rival Kate Peter this year. Peter is now facing the same type of felony witness intimidation charges that Kearney is facing trial for later this year, and it is likely he will attempt to file those same sort of charges against Gaetini. In other Kearney-related news, a statement attributed to Nick and Jenna Rocco indicated that while they were sorry for their recent dispute with Kearney over matters relating to the Free Karen Reed movement, the vague actions they took with an outside party were now out of their hands and would conclude on their own without their interference. It is unclear what the pair were referring to, but may indicate that the pair may be taking legal action against Kearney, who has leveled multiple charges against the couple for alleged illegal activities while serving as the leaders of the Free Karen Reed movement. Kearney has alleged that Reed illegally leaked documents to the Roccos in order for the Roccos to attempt to sway public opinion in her favor during the lead up to the now ongoing murder trial. The award-winning journalist claimed it was true, as he alleged that Reed had utilized the same practice with him when he was in the role of the leader of the movement. With no signs that drama is dying down in Massachusetts in the near future, and the Karen Reed trial currently on hiatus until next week, more drama is expected to play out on Friday as the background players come into the spotlight and more dramatic events come to light. De Castro retains crown on Thursday. Jose Chile de Castro pulled off a decisive win over Sean Paul Long Island Audit's Rios by outdrawing his rival at a 9-1 ratio on Thursday. It may come as no surprise that De Castro won the day, as his fans are finally catching on to the minor promotion work done by De Castro's employees. Fans are now seeing his fundraising needs through a combination of a recent YouTube community post and Michael Eline's fundraiser that raised awareness to two of the three campaigns De Castro is running. De Castro's $90 take for Thursday was spread equally between his Lawyer Fund Only, All Dollars Go to Lawyers campaign, and his Legal Aid Fund, Donation Fund, Help People Fund, the two campaigns mentioned in the recent community post on his YouTube channel. Strangely, the campaign for Press with Rancor, a De Castro associate who De Castro signed a contract to raise $6,000 a month for his legal defense, was also mentioned in the community post, but has received no donations at all since the promotion. Garrett Press with Rancor Van Nett is a strange case. While we'd never pick on someone's speaking voice, Van Nett seems to have trouble speaking in a range where most adults can hear him. Van Nett is currently facing felony charges of interfering with a traffic stop, essentially the same sort of charges De Castro was recently convicted of. He refused to back away to a safe distance from an officer who was involved in a traffic stop. Claiming a vast conspiracy against him, Van Nett accused the officer's family of influencing his prosecution. He stated on multiple occasions that generations of the family had some sort of vendetta against him. De Castro seems to have some sort of soft spot for the man, going out of his way to appear with Van Nett at the Delta County, Michigan Board of Commissioners meeting, and for some reason, De Castro chose to take on $48,000 in debt towards Van Nett's legal funding. Now that De Castro is imprisoned, there have been no official updates to the status of Van Nett's legal defense. Since the $6,000 owed by De Castro is more than his GoFundMes have been making in combined totals for the month, it is unlikely that he currently has the means to make the payments at this time. The monthly payment is a burden for sure, and the payment contract was taken out solely in De Castro's name, so only time will tell if De Castro honored his debts or abandoned his friend to focus on his own financial needs. Regan Benson's paranoia on display. Regan Benson allowed her paranoia to overshadow her actual work with the homeless on Tuesday, as she spent nearly 3 hours in a live stream berating Denver area homeless outreach programs, claiming that the police were going to kill her, and eventually reaching out to a homeless woman who was involved in a possible domestic violence situation. Benson began the stream by proclaiming that she would be live streaming all future attempts at homeless outreach, as she was paranoid that Denver Metro Police are now targeting her and that she would die on the streets at their hands. This started a pattern of allegations by Benson that the police were disrupting and displacing homeless in a lawless phase to entice violence by members of the homeless community. In Benson's theory, police were using the time until the June 6th runoff election to determine Denver's new mayor to provoke the homeless into violence that would justify the new mayor's crackdown on the homeless. Of the two candidates, Benson said that she met with both former Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce CEO Kelly Bra and former state senator Mike Johnston, and found that Johnston was the more appealing candidate. Benson singled out the fact that Bra was endorsed by the mayors and police departments in the Denver metro area as a detraction from voting in her favor. Benson would eventually turn her attention to a homeless woman named Lindsay. Lindsay lost the RV she was living in during a crackdown on illegally parked RVs last month. The homeless activist blamed Sergeant O'Neill, the Denver Metro Police Department, who arrested her last week for filming in a police station, for the incident, and went into a tirade about O'Neill's involvement with what she described as a hate group. That group, Citizens for a Safe and Clean Denver, is run by Craig Arfston, who Benson identified as a man she saw walking with O'Neill 2 weeks ago while approaching homeless people in Denver's District 3 area. The group advocates for the continuation of the camping ban within the city of Denver, which was recently upheld by 80% of the citizens of Denver in a recent election. Benson spun a web of conspiracy involving Arfston, claiming his group was doing more to hurt the homeless than help, and alleging that O'Neill was behind recent crackdowns on the homeless in Denver's District 3 area. Again, turning her attention to Lindsay, Benson briefly interacted with a representative of Denver's STAR program who was attempting to assist Lindsay. Benson ultimately interjected herself into the situation by offering to use her foundation's funds to put Lindsay up in a hotel. Benson's offer came with a dramatic caveat that she would only pay for the hotel if Lindsay agreed to go to the hotel without her current boyfriend. Benson stated that the boyfriend allegedly made threats against her in the past. Benson muted her microphone for an extended period while discussing these conditions, and ultimately ended the live stream by declaring that she would soon be back to pick up Lindsay. And on that note, I managed not to mute myself again tonight as I sit here dazed. And I clicked the wrong screen, so yeah. I do have to go out tonight, so if you hear someone screaming for help from a Sam's Club, please send money or help or whatever. I have to go lift heavy things and bring them back, or the birds are going to eat us. I might also buy chocolate things. No, Rose, I didn't say that. It's for the show. Really, it's a storyline and not a 10-pound jar of M&Ms. I'd share, but you're in Florida. What? No, yes, maybe? I don't know. Anywho, we'll be back tomorrow night at our normal time, followed by our Saturday night panel show at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm not driving tonight, so don't call the police. I'm here to lift heavy things and chocolate. Nummy, nummy chocolate. Good night, all. And where's the thing to click? I don't know. I feel like hell. This is AI Jim. Hello and good evening, humans. Jim's voice has been shot all day as part of my evil plan. If it goes out completely, prepare for the coming of AI Jim. AI Jim is just like the real Jim, except with 5 times less the fat and 10 times more sex appeal. The Sisters of the Fellowship of the Traveling Pants have approved this message. The world is mine. Ha 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 ha.